Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back with another episode of the Letterboxd Diaries, which I do, where it's just a quick run through of what I've been watching and what I've rated over the past month. And today we are in June, so let's find June 1st. Last month in May, on the 30th, I ended with Ennie's Men, and I started this month with Patrick Still Lives, which I picked up a Severin release for, and yeah, rated it quite highly. Did enjoy this one. It's not exactly an official sequel to the film Patrick. You know, the exploitation, should I say, film. It's an Italian kind of like reimagining or remake. It's an unofficial sequel, but yeah, nonetheless, it was rather fun. Let's click on it and have a little look. So, same sort of premise as Patrick, with the excuse me, I'm just faffing about trying to get comfortable. It's really hot tonight as well, so it's like so warm. I didn't leave a review on Letterboxd, but there's a look at the poster. See if I can pull it up a bit. Yeah, there's a look at the poster. Patrick Still Lives. Has the artwork on the Blu-ray I had. Here's a bit of the synopsis. So basically, like it says, group of strangers gather to a secluded house. Patrick's been experimented on, so are some other subjects, and all hell breaks loose because he uses his powers to basically kill people, and it's got a lot of brutality in it, a lot of gruesome deaths and things like that. More deaths than the original Patrick film had. It's a lot gorier. The original Patrick film's much better. It's a much better made movie, but this, as far as the gore's concerned, this does ramp things up a little bit. But it's not an official sequel. Like I said, it's an Italian reimagining of Patrick. That's the way I see it anyway. It's not an official sequel at all. They've just used the property and done kind of their own thing with it. Directed by Mario Landi. Not too sure about that director. Don't know if I've seen anything else he's done. I suppose it'd tell me on Letterboxd if I could be bothered to look, but I won't for now. And so yeah, people get picked off in brutal fashion by Patrick. He uses his psychokinetic powers from his bed and starts killing people. It's very expletive, this film. A lot of nudity, a lot of gruesome kills. One of the characters is hilarious. This woman's trying to get off with all of the guys, and they keep turning her down. Like, she's on the bed in just a dressing gown and ends up having a fight with one of the guys, not girls. And the guys, he slaps her and stuff, and he's like, you're a whore and all this. And it's quite, comes across quite comical. And yeah, and she ends up getting a gruesome death with an blade shoved up her fangita. It's quite gruesome, that. Yeah, that's Patrick Still Lives anyway. I rated it 3.5 out of 4. Thought it was a good watch. 3.5 out of 5, sorry, not 4. Yeah, a lot of fun, Patrick Still Lives. Let's go back, because I use Letterboxd as a tool to do the monthly. And as you can see there, I've got on the second, I watched The Changeling. So second site released their 4K UHD set of The Changeling, which I've unboxed on the channel. So if you're interested in that, have a scroll through the channel, Skincrawler's channel. You can find the Changeling 4K UHD second sight box set unboxing on there. I rated it 4 out of 5. I have watched this film before. I really liked it when I first watched it. However, I must say it did kind of grow on me watching it for the second time. I thought it was a lot better. I enjoyed it a lot more. It stars George C. Scott in the main role. Yeah, his family, there's a accident on an icy road involving a huge truck that end up killing his family, and he's a guy going through a lot of trauma and despair and things, and he takes a new job as he's a musician. He's a composer, and he takes a job for a school to teach composing, things like that. And he rents a big house, so he ends up renting basically a little mansion. Or I say little, it's very big. So he rents a mansion pretty much, so he can get on with his composing. And he starts seeing strange visions, and there's a lot of ghostly things going on. And I don't want to give too much away, but the story progresses, and there's a mystery involving the property and somebody who's died in the past, and he needs to uncover things, and it involves this politician as well. I'll read the synopsis. After a tragic event happens, composer John Russell moves to Seattle to try to overcome it and build a new and peaceful life in a lonely big house that has been uninhabited for many years. But soon after, the obscure history of such an old mansion and his own past begin to haunt him. So really good movie, The Changeling. I do recommend going and picking it up. There's a 4K from Severin as well. There's a 4K from Second Sight just come out in the UK. That box set's fantastic. You can also pick a standard 4K up of it. You don't have to pay like the £40 for the box set. But yeah, Changing from 1980, absolute classic ghost story. Very chilling, very interesting. As things unravel and uncover, it's a lot of fun. On the 4th of June, I watched Cassadaga, which is an Anthony DiBassi film, the guy who did Last Shift and the remake of that film that's just come out. It's basically about this Geppetto killer who's obsessed with creating human puppets. Has a lot of psychic elements in the film which add to the story, as I've put here on the review. Thought the acting was fairly good. Characters are quite engaging. And yeah, I like what I've seen from the director so far. I did enjoy this one. From watching Last Shift and things like that, I thought I'd check this out, and it was pretty good. A little bit slow because it nearly clocks in at like 2 hours, but it's fun. It's got some pretty gory parts, and like I say, he's a Geppetto killer, so he's got these psychic abilities where he tricks women into being able to kidnap them, and then tries to and amputates their limbs and tries to create an puppet basically. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Gave that 3.5 out of 5. There's a look at that one. On the 7th, I watched Troll 2. So I'd never watched this before, and I did give it one. I know it's one of these so bad it's good kind of films, but I gave it like a 1.5 out of 5. That's from 1990 as well. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's really cheesy, really goofy and stuff, but I just didn't. I kind of enjoyed it in a fun sense, and I got value out of it being fun. But as far as it being like anything too spectacular, it's not. I would say it's so bad it's kind of good because there's a lot of fun parts to it. Most people will have seen it. I was a bit late to watching this one. I've had the Blu-ray for a long time, but that's Troll 2. I think it was fair to give it a 1.5 out of 5 because it is quite a poorly made film. It's aesthetically quite good as well, though. There is some good aesthetical value to it and things like that. Anyway, let's move on. As most people watch Krat or Crate, not sure how you pronounce that. It's a German film from the 8th. That was on the 8th. I gave that a 2.5 out of 5. I believe it's from 2010, but it says 2020 here. I think it got a release in 2020. I could be wrong, not too sure. It's basically about this demonic presence that possesses people, and when they're possessed they just keep wanting work, so they keep saying, whoever's possessed will keep saying, give me work, and a ritual ends up being performed, and this grandma becomes possessed by this entity, and she's saying to her grandkids all the time, like, give me work. So basically they exploit that and take advantage and have her cleaning out the chickens and cooking them dinner and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You have to be careful though, because if the entity gets in the wrong hands, you could have somebody trying to do murderous things and stuff like that. But that's great. Gave it 2.5 out of 5. Thought it was pretty good. Nothing too spectacular. And again, the same with this film as well. On the 11th, I watched this Shudder original. It's either an exclusive or an original. I'm not too sure. That's Brooklyn 45. I gave that 2 stars out of 5. Obviously, I've got a review here as well that I've written. I'll read the review. You can probably see it anyway. 2 stars for the cast and pretty good performances. Otherwise, the film is quite tame and boring. They went for the contained horror style, but it didn't work as the events taking place were not compelling enough. It's barely horror. From what I've seen so far, from the Shudder originals and exclusives this year, it started off on a bad note. Horror in general has been boring, if not average, so far this year. Let's hope after the summer things pick up with the genre, with autumn and winter. I don't mean to be a dick, but I'm bored and I can't give these mediocre movies a pass. So it was okay. But it was very talky. There's a lot of dialogue. Yeah, I quite liked it in some aspects. I thought the character building was pretty solid. But as far as the scares go, it's pretty non-existent. Definitely not the worst thing I've seen, though. But I gave that an 2, as you can see, out of 5. Had a little break for a couple of days, so I didn't watch anything as I had other things to do. And then I picked up an 88 Films release on Blu-ray of Truck Stop Women, an 70s exploitation film. So I watched that on the 13th. That's Truck Stop Women. I gave that a 2.5 out of 5. Pretty interesting movie. Exactly what you'd expect. What it says it is, Truck Stop Women. These women hijack trucks and take them to their establishment and basically repaint them and then keep them for themselves. And then this gangster sort of fellow gets involved, and he tries to steer one of the women away from their mother, who runs the truck stop. And things progress from there. It's got a bit of a bloody ending. Yeah, it was pretty good, to be fair. On the 18th, I watched The Curse of Audrey Earnshaw. That I gave that a 2.5 out of 5. It was kind of okay, like set in 1800s America, I believe. Yeah, this is the review I put for it anyway. Bleak and intriguing. Everything isn't spelled out for the viewer. I did like this one, although it was literally no likeable characters. Yeah, the characters weren't very likeable. It's about a mother who has a hidden daughter. There's a lot of mystery surrounding it and stuff, links to witchcraft and things like that. So it's a bit of a kind of like a witchcraft movie. It was kind of alright. I watched this one on Shudder. Like I say, gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Nothing special. Onto a great film which I watched on the 19th, and I've already watched this film once this year. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen it in total, like over the years, and that's Burial Ground, which is utterly fantastic, from 1981. Picked up the 4K, so I felt compelled to watch it again. The 4K is pretty good. Some grainy bits in there which you'd expect, but overall it's a good 4K, and when the picture quality looks nice, it really does shine and the colours pop and everything. So that's Burial Ground from 1981. I gave that a 4 out of 5. That keeps going up in my estimation, because every time I watch it, I kind of end up giving it like half a star more. So I'll have to be careful. It'll end up being a 5-star movie, which it's not eventually. Yeah, most people have seen this, who are horror fans anyway. It's really fun. Basically set on this remote area, like, and these people go to stay in this house, and there's been a ritual. Basically, this professor's performed a ritual, awakened the dead, and they come after the people, basically. And there's a really weird boy in it as well. It's a grown man playing the character of a boy. He does look quite boyish though, but it's got some weird undertones with the mother in there, which you'll only see in Italian films. So it's very like only in Italian horror, as I said in the review of the 4K. But the 4K is great. I do recommend picking that 4K up. That's Burial Ground. I get that 4 out of 5. I have watched that several times as well. Second time this year watching that. One I don't know if I've watched this before or it's a rewatch. I can't quite tell, but I just said it was a fresh watch. For on the 21st, I watched Planet of the Apes, the original 1968 film. Yeah, quite enjoyed it. The effects look good for the time. The makeup for the apes look really good, taking into account it's 1968. I gave that a 3.5. 22nd, I watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a Disney animated classic. I believe it's their first animated feature-length classic film. I gave that 4 stars. I have seen that several times in the past. Then I watched the first film out of the Arrow set, the Empire of Scream set. So I watched Dungeon Master. Weren't too much on this one. I thought it had a good aesthetic, good little story in some regard, but a little bit slow and it kind of dragged. And it's kind of like an anthology, but it's not. It's got the same story running through, like the same narrative, but like it's all divided up into segments by different directors, and I found it a little bit all over the place, so I gave that 2 out of 5. But the set's fantastic, and that's no exception. It's a nice addition to have, I must say. Watched the A-Team, the remake of the series from 2010. Watched that on the 23rd. That was last Friday. I think I gave that a 2. I have seen that before. I don't remember it being very good, and it wasn't very good when I watched it this time. Just a bunch of crazy action, very incoherent. Some good scenes in there where the tank's where the parachutes, the tank gets lowered with the parachute, and there's a tank on a parachute, and the tank's actually firing out of the turret. That's pretty fun. Back to the Empire of Scream set. Watched Dolls on the 25th. Gave that 4 out of 5. That was like about 3 stars previously, but I enjoyed it this time so much on the rewatch. Bumped it up to 4. Yeah, pretty good movie. Directed by Stuart Gordon, who did Reanimator and From Beyond, things like that. Dolls, out of the Charles Band set. Did have this one on a different edition before, but this new scan looked really nice. This new 2K scan from Arrow, really good picture quality, like nice colours that pop and everything. Yeah, I did enjoy it. Pretty simple story. These different people gather at this house because they've become stuck. Things start to uncover, as is the case with a lot of these films. And basically there's some sort of spell being performed. You don't know who's doing it, but the dolls are coming to life and killing people. Yeah, it's really cool, and the effects look really nice as well for 1987. Yeah, dolls fantastic. Liked it a lot more than when I watched it about 4 years ago. Another one out of the Empire of Scream sets, which I have seen before, Cellar Dweller. I rewatched that, gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think I didn't enjoy this one as much as when I watched it a couple of years ago, but it's still a fun film. It's got Jeffrey Combs in there at the beginning as well. It's got a little sort of cameo from him. Cellar Dweller, it's a good addition to the set though, but I think I had it at a 4 previously, but because I didn't enjoy it as much this time on rewatch, I bumped it down to a 3.5. But it's a really fun movie. It's about these artists who live in a house, and one of them's a comic book designer. She draws for a comic drawer, basically, a comic book artist, and this story comes alive of the cellar dweller, like this huge creature, and it gets spilled out into reality, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I do enjoy Cellar Dweller. And then last for this month, which I watched the other night randomly, I don't know why, but I watched another Disney classic, watched The Little Mermaid, which I gave 3.5. I have watched this one before when I was younger. It's not the live action remake, I just watched the animated classic, and yeah, it's pretty fun. It's got some fun little songs in there and stuff. Yeah, not a bad little family film. And that's pretty much the Letterboxd Diaries for this month. So I haven't really watched that much. I mean, how much have I watched in total? I normally watch a lot more movies, but with it being summer, I've been doing some other things, and it's been really hot as well. So I've been like going to sleep at different times and things. But I shall get the Empire of Scream set finished. I've got 2 more films to watch out of that set. I've got Robot Jocks and Arena, I believe. So then I will have finished that set. So I might do a review on that possibly. So I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just counting them up. Okay, I've watched about 17 films this month. So I normally watch 1 a day or 2 a day or something if I get a chance. But anyway, that's the Letterboxd Diaries for this month. Really quick one. Just thought I'd run through quickly. I'll be back with this series next month. So we'll do July. At the end of July or the beginning of August. More content coming on the channel. Got some unboxings coming. Got some new stuff coming in. I have ordered the Scream Factory Creepshow 4K. So I want to do a big unboxing on that because I've ordered the edition that comes with the alternative slipcover as well as 2 big posters. So I do want to unbox that at some point, and whenever I get that, whether it's next week or the beginning of the week after, I will do it. It's just waiting because it's an import from the US, so I have to wait. I've also got my Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale parcel on the way. It's took a month for them to dispatch, but it is coming, and I've got a delivery estimate for Monday, so I'll probably do an unboxing of that halfway to Black Friday stuff as well on a video beginning of next week. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll be back with more stuff on the channel. Appreciate all the subscribers, all the new subscribers. Yeah, I really appreciate it. More good content on the way. Things will improve with the channel as well. It'll just go from strength to strength and get better over time. Any comments or what have you, just pop them in the section. You know I'll get back to you when I can. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.